Good evening and welcome to a very special episode of Loose Links. It's all a bit dark and quiet here today as we talk about, and I ask the panel, have they ever had an imaginary friend? Do they think Halloween can be dangerous as well as fun? And also, do they believe in ghosts and haunted houses? I know one of our panel has been in one, so I'm looking forward to hearing all about it. So, I don't know what that is, I apologise. So, joining me on the panel this evening is the mysterious Dee Kelly, the dark and dazzling Suzanne Paul, and the devil herself, Joanne Lloyd. I don't dare do it, guys. I don't want to put on the camera. And joining them is me, Nicholas James, as I try and keep them all in line. Good evening, panel. How are we doing?
Good evening.
Welcome to the Halloween special. I did try my hardest to borrow Kerry Gillespie's face, but she wouldn't let me borrow it, so I had to buy a costume. So I sort of had to dress up a little bit. Good evening, how are we all? Jo, describe what you are for us this evening.
I'm a scary little devil.
Suzanne, what are you?
I'm a little devil too.
And Dee Kelly, what are you?
I am you've got half an hour to dress up and find a costume. Unicorn.
No. On today's show, we talk about it's our Halloween special. Hello and welcome. We talk about, did you ever go trick-or-treating as a child, and what was your favourite costume? Also, do we think in the year of 2020, Halloween can also be dangerous as well as fun? Also, we talk about, do we believe in magic? Now, as you know, we are based on a TV show of Loose Women. We have copied them for one thing this week. We've never copied them before. But see if you can find how we've copied them near the end of the show. But that's something to look forward to. Good evening, panel. How are we doing?
Very well.
So let's go straight into our Halloween. I feel such prat. I nearly said another word. There is. See, you've been dying to laugh, haven't you?
You're not very scary.
You've been dying to laugh. This cost me £27. Look, I'm all dressed up and everything.
£27?
99 pence. Thank you, Tesco Express.
I'm the dark Mad Hatter.
Ah.
I've always been a bit mad.
Stand back up again. Let's just have a quick look again. Oh, you could probably wear that out on the town.
The good thing about getting an outfit as an adult is, fingers crossed, you won't grow out of it by next Halloween.
Yeah.
I'm hoping not to grow out of my unicorn horn.
So our show's done a bit differently this week because of it being a Halloween special. So we won't be doing polls, but I will do double polls next week. So make sure you tune in for that. So my first question to you, my Halloween beauties, is, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't have a clue. Did you ever go trick-or-treating as a child? And can you remember your favourite costume?
I actually can't. Do you know? I can't ever remember going trick-and-treating as a child.
Can you not?
I never did either.
No, I think it's because it's a very American holiday, isn't it? And I don't think it was so big over here until, when I say a few years ago, probably talking about like 5-10 years maybe. But the big one for us as kids was like Guy Fawkes and Bonfire Night.
Yeah. We weren't allowed to dress up. I mean, my mum was, she was adamant it was an American thing and you weren't allowed to do it. But me and my friend Stephanie, we used to go carol singing every year. So then when it came to Halloween, we're like, come on, let's make a costume. So I nicked a sheet out of the airing cupboard and made a mask with just cardboard and tied it around their head and put some red paint on with blood. And she did a box. It was a box, and it was supposed to be a pumpkin. It was absolutely rubbish, but we still went out. And we made a bit of money because they didn't have sweets. People didn't have sweets at doors. They, you were like, oh, what? Trick or treat, trick or treat. And they were so scared of getting a trick that give you cash. So we'd get pocket with like money for the week to have school dinners. So it was a bit of a bonus. But no, we weren't allowed to do it. And we didn't, Mum and Dad didn't know until later on in life.
Why wasn't, is there a particular thing? Did your parents not like Halloween? Did they not?
Well, we didn't celebrate it then, did we? It was like a bit like, these are good Guy Fawkes, but it was like a pagan thing. I think it was, it was just American. It just wasn't done here. It came on later on when we had children, and it became bigger and bigger when my girls were younger.
What about you, Suzanne? Did you ever go trick or treating?
No, never. I think Joanna's right. I think we're a lot older than you, Nick, as well. So we're sort of like, well, I'm 70s, and I think you two are 70s. 80s?
All right, then I'll fess up. Yeah, all right, 70s.
So I think, we just didn't do it. And it is an American thing. And it was all about bonfire night then, back in the 70s and 80s. You just had your sparkler, your toffee apple, you were happy.
That's it, still your dad's old trousers. I mean, because, the big thing was the penny for the guy, wasn't it? And that's we'd all make our own guys. And if you couldn't be bothered to make one, then you'd use your little sister and shove her in a wheelbarrow. Do you know, like, and that was about the extent of it. But it was so much
can I just say, Loose Links doesn't recommend to do that with any equivalent that you've got.
Well, they don't do that now, do they? Kids don't do that.
No.
I do remember going trick-or-treating, and when I was younger, I used to enjoy it a lot, and then I got into like the stubborn sort of teenager, and I hated it. And ever since being an adult, really, I'm not one for dressing up. I'm not a fan of dressing up at all. So this is really big for me. And I was one of those stubborn 14-year-olds that just used to walk around with my sister, just like in normal clothes, to take a trick-or-treating. But I was awful because I was that stubborn teenager. I was like, I don't want to do this. My sister was like, she was like 6. Will you come to the front door? No, if you want a trick-or-treat, you can bloody knock on that door. I'm standing here. I'm not coming up to the door with you. So, and being the Christian man that I am, I'm not at all against Halloween. I'm not at all like, I think it's really for kids. I don't think it's for adults. You might disagree with me, but I think it's really for kids. And actually, I'm not gonna moan at a child for dressing in a Halloween costume. I just think it's a bit of fun, isn't it? Unless your name's Joanne Lloyd and you just take it to the extreme that you have bloody lots of Halloween stuff in your loft.
Had lots of parties, Nicholas James. Lots of parties. They've got teenage daughters. They've had Halloween parties galore. The machine.
Right, this would be really interesting to ask a question, and I'm more interested because I remember talking about aliens in the sky, and Dee got quite heated about this, so I'm quite looking forward to this topic. Do you believe in ghosts and the unknown?
Yes, I do. And this again, it's like I believe in aliens as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd say it's you saying this about someone had been to a haunted night. I did a charity night the once, and we went to a haunted jail in Derby. And when you're going round, the curators were telling us, right now in this cell was a mother who, was hung for killing like her children. So of course, when you're being brave and go, yeah, well, good job, she's dead. And Nick, she tried to jump into me. I do not lie. I am not lying. I'm telling you now, I clawed my way out of that cell and I cried like a baby. And she actually tried to physically jump into me to knock me back in the wall. I've never been so scared in my whole life.
That gives a whole different meaning to Love Island, doesn't it? It really does.
But I believe there's nice ghosts as well.
There's Casper.
And there's nice ghosts.
Yeah, Casper's a nice one.
There's Casper.
Yeah.
Does anybody else believe in ghosts or ghoulies? Joe, explain what happened to us this evening.
Well, we were upstairs getting our little glad rags on, weren't we? And we'd set everything up down here, and these noises kept going off.
No, it was this.
It's got a remote
And the
control.
button was
It's never
down
gone off on
here.
its own before.
And
I
it
think
just
it's
suddenly
having
went
its
off on
pocket.
its own. All right, sorry, shut up, Norris. But it just went off on its own, and the button was down here. It was scary.
Ghosts.
What about you, Suzanne? Are you one to mix with the dead, or are you one to stay with the alive?
Well, I'm a bit sceptical. I don't really believe in ghosts, but my office is obviously in a big stately home, very old stately home, and this happened last year. And it was when we were just setting up for Christmas. In fact, it was about this time, because when Halloween finishes, we sort of like set up for Christmas. And I was in my office, and the cook, she'd gone into the hall manager's office next door. She came back round, and as she came back round, she stood in my door, and I heard a big sigh, like a man's sigh. And it was like, and I remember Shelley looking at me and going, "Did you just hear that?" And I went, "Yes."
Hey, that's a very big but, that is, Suzanne. That was a ghost.
And the thing was, I went left, she went right, and there was nobody. But wait, gets worse.
Right.
The following couple of days later, one of the housemen was talking to the hall manager, saying that he was in the chapel gallery in the hall. And he said it was almost like he was at arm's length, and it was a big sigh. And I just went in the office and I went, "It happened to you?" And he went, "Yeah." Honestly.
Did he jump in you?
No, he didn't jump in me. No.
Did you try pin you against the wall?
No.
So
It's like a big sigh.
I've had quite a lot of contact with ghosts. I have. And I don't know if it's my aura and it attracts ghosts.
Right. Well, I make no comment to that, Dave.
Everybody wants to be my friend.
So, moving on, are you a person to be, nowadays, big at celebrating Halloween?
No.
I ain't celebrating anything.
You know, this is about my Halloween. You know, this is the first time ever. I'm not a big Halloween person. I really am not. Christmas, yeah. Big Christmas. But Halloween, no. I just don't have any interest in it.
Not even when your kids were little? Did you do anything when your kids were little?
No.
Hey, we're so alike. I am like the biggest Grinch. I'm so far humbug, I am. And I don't know why, you know.
Oh, well, see, I wouldn't see you like that at all. I would see you like with Santa's grotto at Christmas and...
I mean, don't get me wrong, I went to see Santa about 2 years ago.
Right.
Me and my two friends, and we sat on his lap. But like when it comes to kids, my kids were always petrified. Do you know? And I think it was the thought they would never ever get up early and come downstairs to see if the presents were there. They had an awful fear of someone coming into the house in the middle of the night. It didn't matter that they were leaving presents. And they were like, "Has he gone? Has he gone? Has he gone?" And I'm like,
What about you, Joe? Are you one for celebrating Halloween as an adult?
I've been celebrating Halloween for years, since the girls were little. When I worked in a school, we celebrated it with the kids. And then I decorate the house. You'll see the house, you've seen it on Facebook and things like that. I started decorating that early on. I now work in a children's centre, so I decorate that. I bought a little Halloween tree this year and decorated that. I have a projector that goes outside on the house, which does autumnal things, and then I'll put the Halloween things on it. Then I'll change it for Christmas, and I'll do Valentine's, and I do Easter, and I do any celebration.
Susanna, are you taking notes?
I don't know what it is about Halloween. I'm a big Christmas woman.
Yeah.
Big
I
Christmas
like it, yeah, I like it. I like it all. But Halloween, done lots of parties. I think because you like celebrating with any party will do me, me, Nicholas James.
But do you hate it? Do you hate it? Like I think the year goes fast as it is. The year goes, you blink and it's the end of the year. Okay, this year hasn't been because of the COVID thing that's happened. But I hate that as soon as we've done, when is Halloween? What's the official date? We're late. What's the official date? Is it the 30th? First. As soon as that's gone, it's Christmas stuff on the shelves. I just think it's too fast.
Well, no, I'm ready for that now. I'll get that out of the way. Put all that away. It's now time for Christmas. Oh, yes, Nicholas.
Yeah, you're right, Joe, because I'm actually going to go out now Thursday before lockdown to buy my Easter eggs.
You're not?
And see how many I can eat before Easter.
Do Valentine's at the same time, Dee.
I'm open to offers, Nick. I keep telling you that.
Would you now? This is a really interesting one. In the year of 2020, would you let your children go trick or treating without adult supervision? Massive question.
No, they weren't allowed to do it this year, Nicholas. They weren't allowed to go trick or treating this year.
No, but in like normal times. So in the year of Joe, in the year of 2019, then would you let your children at 7 or 8 years old grab a bag and go out knocking on doors without?
Not at 7 or 8, no. But when they get to secondary school, yes, they always went out on their own when they got to secondary school. Yeah.
Right. Okay. What about you girls?
Mine could only ever knock the door of someone that they knew. If I ever found out they'd knocked a stranger's door, it's just so scary. And that's kind of like, you spend your whole life telling your kids, don't talk to strangers, and then let them knock a complete stranger's door and ask them for sweets. No, you're all right. It's fine.
Yeah, I think with me, for young children, no. Keris, my daughter Keris, she did it last year, just here, but I live in the middle of nowhere, as you know, and there's only like 6 people who live here. So she only went round with her group of her friends. So yeah, she's 14.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because the thing is, it's a time for children. And when I was younger, younger, I'm now 30 years old, I'm starting to hit the old stage, but when I was younger, 11, 12, 13-year-olds were on their own trick-or-treating, where we're knocking on doors and friends were meeting in the street. But nowadays, that's not so much. And I don't know if really, when I really think about it, and you girls could argue with me, that parents will say nowadays, well, there's a lot of strange people on the street, and it's great time for predators to be out and stuff like that when children are out. But really, was it any worse than it was 10 years ago when we really think about it?
I think that's why I wouldn't have done it 10 years ago, and I kind of wouldn't do it now. And I think, we've always stuck by the rule of, I think because we know so many people, you just knock who you know. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, but like with regards to, I'd be astounded how many like children, not this year obviously, will knock my door. And it's like, but credit, they're always accompanied by an adult. And that's what I'm saying. If they're accompanied by an adult, it is nice. But with regards to my children, it's always, there was a group of like older teens who'd always take the younger ones. But again, they'd only sort of take them to, they'd steer clear of like our elderly neighbours because you don't want people knocking on the doors at night. And they were just very conscientious and very aware of what house they were going to. And at the end of the day, even if you visit sort of 10 people that you know, that's enough sweets to have you climbing the ceilings anyway.
Yeah. And my girls do just go to people around where we live, and I mean, mine would have been scared. And you only go to houses where it's all decorated anyway, so it's like, I suppose you don't know who's behind that door, but you're hoping that 14, 15-year-olds would, probably know what they're sort of doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They're a bit more savvy than you think nowadays, Nicholas James.
Are you, panel, are you one for horror movies?
No.
It used to when I was a kid, but I don't mind it now.
I can't even look at the poster behind me, look. It's just...
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I love them. Absolutely love watching them. The scary.
Suzanne, you're a psychopath.
They're not scary when you get older, though. When you're younger, I was really scared and would hide behind the sofa.
No, you can't even watch Walking Dead with me. So
Nicholas, that's because Walking Dead is crap. I like a horror movie.
You screamed when almost dead people came round the corner.
I said it was stupid.
Yeah, no, I love horrors, and I love ghost ones as well.
Do you?
And I love all the real life ghost ones. I love watching those as well.
Yeah. Well, are you watching The Haunting of Bly House, Suzanne?
Oh gosh, yes, that's
that's
at the moment. Yes, I love
Do
it.
you want to look at it?
You know, honest to God,
I've been binge watching it.
Really good.
I am. I tell you, I don't know why. I don't like. I'm so easily. I don't like horrible things. But my daughter, and it's you guys saying that she's just finished The Haunting of Bly House, and you'd swear it was a comedy series. And I'm like, hang on a minute, everybody's upset. She's just so weird. But like me and my little boy, we went to. I mean, the title of it gives it all away. And we went to an event the other night called Road to Hell. Why I thought it'd be a family day out.
That's great day out. Let's all get down there.
We've never been so scared in my whole life. I cried all the way round, and I'm never, ever, ever, ever doing anything like that ever again.
Well, do you know what? It was really funny. I was the most scaredest kid as a child. Really, really scared. I wouldn't say boo to a goose, and I hated rides or anything like that. And one year, I don't know if you know, but Skegness usually do like a good evening, Skegness. They usually do like a firework on the beach sort of night for bonfire night, and they give you, like, this was years ago, so I don't know if they still do it, they gave you a wristband to go around the theme park afterwards, so you could watch the fireworks, and then the theme park was on till like 10:30. And we stood on this ghost train, and it was the most basic ghost train in the world, and my mum said to me, "Come on, Nick, should we go on that?" I went, "No, I'm not. No, why are you asking me? I'm not going on that." And she spent no word of a lie with the bloke there as well. 10 minutes going, "Come on, let's." And the bloke was going, "It's not that scary. Honestly, it's not." So me as this child sits in this carriage, and I'm like clenched hold on to my mum, going, "This will be all right, won't it? It will be all right. We'll be fine." My mum's like, "Yeah, for goodness sake, stop it. It's fine." Well, we move, and no word of a lie, we move, and the doors open, and my mum goes, "Like that all the way round."
I tell you, I'd sit here, and you know them air fresheners that you've got that go, poof, and I'm like, you're having to peel me off the ceiling.
What do they do?
I was out there like, "It's the air freshener, Mum, it's the air freshener."
What do they do?
They go, whoosh.
And have you ever been afraid of the dark?
Dark? See, that's weird, because I wouldn't say, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't walk down, a country lane on my own. But I don't think I've ever been afraid of the dark.
Not even as a kid. Do you know how some kids are really scared of going to bed and all the lights off and all of that? Have you ever had to put a night light in a child's room or?
No, and I think we're always, you know, I can only go to sleep if I'm in a pitch black room. Like if there was a light on a TV or something, oh, it'd drive me mad.
Me too. What about you, Suzanne? Seems like you look very tired today.
Don't do this. It's my red eyes. I've had a busy day at work. Well, here again, there's no street lights. So when it goes dark, it's like black. And I come out the hall and all I can see is green lights, green eyes everywhere. And they're deer.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And particularly at this time of the season, they're all, they're all charging at each other. So yeah, green eyes, but it's pitch black. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. So I tend to wear a head torch sometimes. Wear a head torch and come out. But then you sort of move around and you can see all the deer's eyes and look at the torch.
Oh my God, awful. That would freak me out.
It does.
Come on, Joanne Lloyd, you stay far too quiet for this topic. Are you a woman to be scared of the dark?
I'm scared of the dark. I've always been scared of the dark, and I shared a bedroom with two sisters, and I used to have the landing light, the hall light on, and the door open slightly, and they used to throw things at the door and shut the door, and I used to go, Dad, they shut the door, and I didn't like it, and sometimes my dad would stay with me and go to sleep in the dark, and as soon as he's gone out the door, I'd wake up and open the door, and Kerry Emma used to go mental, and then shut the blooming door, you big baby, and then I woke up in the night and they'd shut the door, I'd be scared. And I'd go and wake Kerry up and say, Kerry, can I come in your bed? She's like, no, you're not coming in my bed, get lost. Go and wake Emma up. Emma, can I come in your bed? I'm scared. No, get off, get lost. You're not coming in my bed. Used to go get my brother out of his bedroom. He'd come in my bed and then I'd be fine. I'd go to sleep. No, I've always been scared of the dark. And
what about as an adult? Do you still have to have a light on now?
Yes. But no, let me just explain this other one. We used to go to my friend's house, Stephanie, and when it used to be dark nights, we used to have to go through this alleyway to get me home again. So she'd walk me to the alley.
I remember that alleyway.
Yeah, that was a horrible alleyway, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was very
Joe
dark.
Lloyd and Suzanne were friends as children, just to let you know. So
they were, but they're not now.
They were, but not now.
So she'd walk me to the alley, and then my dad would wait at the top of the road for me. And one night I was walking down there, and I was so scared. I saw this man, and I started to run away. And Dad said, "Joanna, it's you, Dad."
I mean, that would scare me, you know, seeing a man at the end of the alley. That's different. I mean, I think there's different types of dark, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like being in my bedroom that's dark, I'm all right. But like looking down an alley and there's like no lights, that's I think it's a completely different kettle of fish.
It
is dark. I mean, it is just black.
I don't think I could do that.
Have you ever had a scary experience in the dark? Because I have. When I was.
Only when we played murder in the dark.
Quite a few.
Compose myself. When I was a kid, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I still have nightmares about it now. And I was I won't say which street it is because it is a street in Lincoln, but I was gone to visit my nan, and we'd all gone. It was my dad, my sister, and me, and we'd all gone and seen her, and we got in the car. And the car was like halfway down the road. So my nan's flat was right at the end of the street and the car was halfway down the road. And Dad went, I forgot my phone. So, and my nan was like waving a phone from a flat, because she was on the ground floor, from a flat window. So my dad went out to get this phone. And my sister was sat in the back, but sort of pulled herself forward. So she was talking to me in between the chairs. And she just started to do this random thing and thought it was funny and wave at Peter. She was like, oh, look, that woman's just waving. I was like, I nearly said her name then. I was like, stop it. We don't know these people. Stop it. And then she waved to this man and this man waved back. And I was talking to her. I was talking to her like this. So the window's here, and I was talking to her like that. And she was like, "Oh, what's that man doing?" And I turned to look at the window, and the man was like that at the window, with like really bright eyes, really like I can't do it seriously with the hat on, but was like that, staring at me. And I went to like put my seatbelt on, and my dad luckily came up and said, "Oh, it's all right, mate, it's the 9, la, da, da." But I swear he would have took us. I swear he would have took us. If stop laughing, Dave. Stop.
Brought you back.
It was a scary experience, and you're laughing at it.
You know, I'm one of them. It's like, I laugh when the kids hurt themselves. And do you know what? And it's not like because I laugh that they've hurt themselves. I think laughing is kind of like a reflex for me. I'm thinking if I'm laughing, then they definitely haven't hurt themselves. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not laughing.
Oh, do you know I nearly got kidnapped?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks for your sympathy there, love. Thanks for your sympathy. Have you, let me see, yeah, are you scared of dark? Have you ever had an imaginary friend?
No. But when I watched Drop Dead Fred, love that movie.
I love that film.
One of my favourites.
Love it. Have you watched it, ladies?
No.
Recommended, Drop Dead Fred.
Rick Mail.
It's not scary, it's funny.
It's really hilarious. But after watching it, I wanted one. Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you something. I never ever had an imaginary friend, but my son had one. And and he used to his name was Kavanaugh, right? Kavanaugh. And I'm like, okay. Everywhere we used to go, this Kavanaugh. And I remember my mum, God bless her, when she was alive, she says, "Gerard," she says, "I haven't heard you mention Kavanaugh for a while." And Gerard's like, "Nah, he's in prison." So poor Gerard's imaginary friend Kavanaugh has been locked up in prison, and I think he must still be there now, to be fair, because he hasn't resurfaced.
I did. I had somebody.
Yeah, I thought you might, Nicholas.
Yeah, I did. I had somebody called. What was his name? His name was, I think it was Jamie. And I used to literally sit in my bedroom going, "Wow, I've had a really good day today, Jamie. I've been doing A, B, C, and D." And my mum always go, "Who are you talking to?" "Jamie, I've told you." And we would have to, my mum had to adapt to it so much. So we'd sit round at the dinner table at dinner on a Sunday. But that was the main day we all sat together. And I would make my mum put a chair out for Jamie and a plate and a cup.
Did you see him then?
Pardon?
Did you see him? You actually, as a child?
Yeah. It was someone that I looked up to. But I do think I back then I was an only child.
Yeah.
And back then I was a very nervous, shy sort of child. So I had friends. I'm not saying I was friendless. I had friends, but not that many. So I think I just wanted to find somebody to look up to. So I just had this imaginary Jamie that I looked up to.
I'm just hoping my Gerard doesn't take, following Kavanaugh's footsteps.
Oh, dear, he's in prison. I love that. Yeah, he's in prison. Don't worry about it. Do you think, as well as it being fun and we all dress up and we go to parties, I bloody hate dress-up parties. Can I tell you that? Is anybody a fan of dress-up parties on the show?
Yes, very much so.
Oh, you are. Joe, show us your whole outfit. Come on, stand up. Show us your whole outfit.
No, it's just a dress.
Well, let's have a look.
Oh, come on. You can't really see.
Oh, there we go. Well,
nice.
Joe,
Joe, have you got a wig? Is that
yeah,
like that hairstyle?
It's a wig. Suits me.
You could go out in that.
She's just telling herself it suits me.
It was taking a big at me because I had hairspray out and I was trying to get it right. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, it's got to be right.
Well, I've got to tell you, the best out of all of us this evening is Dee. You've absolutely gone to town, Dee. You've gone so wild. Next time, just don't work as hard, will you? Don't work as hard next time.
It's funny in you saying that because like when you get invited to parties, I'm telling you now, and then like you say fancy dress, I'm like, I ain't going.
I love it.
I ain't going.
We always have dress parties for our 30th, 40th, 50th.
What about you, Suzanne? Are you one for a dress-up party?
Well, I've done themed sort of parties before. I've done like a 1920s one. Yeah, I like sort of dressing up in 1920s, but I'm not really. I don't think I've been invited to one.
I have. But I'm just not a fan of them. I'm not a fan. So talking about the frills and fun of Halloween, do you think there's an element of danger to Halloween as well?
Yes.
Come on, Dee, explain. Why do you think there's an element of danger?
Because everyone's dressing up. They're running around with blood plastered all over their faces and scary masks and this, that and the other. Delicate little souls like me. Do you know what I mean? It's like with a possible dodgy ticker. You know, I could do like a nick and turn around, someone's in front of my face, that's me gone.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you've got a heart problem, then yeah, definitely.
Do you because you hear in news as well, don't you, that I'm not categorising people at all, but there's been news of teenagers throwing eggs at people's houses and being mugged in the street and stuff like that. But there's a fine line between Halloween, isn't there? Because the thing is, the government could say, I'm always talking about the bloody government, but the government could say, right, let's cancel Halloween, we're not doing Halloween anymore. But then you're taking the children's experience away, and it's about kids getting treats and getting sweets and dressing up.
Take away Halloween, Nicholas James? Surely not.
Pardon?
I'm sure the government can't take away Halloween, Nicholas.
No,
it depends if it becomes too much of a law.
But at the end of the day,
like a family party or something like that. That's okay, but like the kids that are getting out of hand, yeah, that's a nightmare. There was some round near us, and it was on Facebook, and I brought my pumpkin in and stuff. I thought, I don't want you bloody well egging my house, so I brought all my stuff in. Well, that's the beauty of Facebook. People are on the site straight away saying, "Yobs are out, put your stuff away."
Like this, sat here like this. I feel like that. Have you ever watched that TV programme, The Three Musketeers?
You look like a musketeer. That's what I was thinking earlier.
I just need the 6-pack instead of the 12.
Oh dear.
I've got a 24-pack. I don't do things by half. I won't show you.
What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
That ghost trying to jump into my body in the jail.
That's awful.
Yeah,
They might have fancied you, Dee.
I don't know. I think she wanted a bit of a scrap, to be fair. You know what I mean? So, like, that kind of knocked me back down a couple of it. But I am the biggest scaredy cat ever. I really, really am. And I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, you know, it's to do with it. But do you know what really scared the life out of me? It was like a big haunting. When they brought a Ouija board out, I left. I said, no. Charity or no charity, I'm off. Because I really believe in stuff like that.
Well, you know what? Do you know what? I am in agreement with that, and I didn't. Years ago, I was like, Ouija boards, what a load of rubbish. But when I was with my ex, so my first partner, he was my neighbour, and he knocked on my door one night and said, we're having a Halloween party. So I went to the Halloween party and I had lots of fun. And then they said, and we'll get a board out. And I was like, I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm not staying for this. And one of their friends said, because I only live next, oh, can I come round to yours for coffee? Because I don't like it. And I went, yeah. So we get, I'm really sorry, so-and-so, I'm off. See you tomorrow. And we sat in my house next door, and all the lights went off. All the lights went off in my house. They flashed and went off, and we were sat in the dark. And then they suddenly came on, and then my ex-partner came in and went, oh, we stopped doing that. Things flew around in the house. I went, well, it's not just your house, it's my house too. The lights are going out. Can you stop? Because I don't like it.
I think there's scary and there's really scary.
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah.
And
I've got to say, Dee, you look really scary tonight.
I look scary every day, even without me horn.
Really big question. Do you believe in magic?
Yeah.
Do you believe in magic?
I really do. I don't know if I should have been like, I don't know. I really, really do. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've been to see some like magicians, and I've seen them really close up. And I pride myself on not many people getting one over on me, you know. And when you watch something and you're like, oh my God, how on earth did you do that? When it's right in front of your face. Do you know what I mean?
Oh dear, I so need to come and have a night out with you. We so need to sort it. I think I would just laugh every time you spoke. Oh my God, how
did you do that? I'm just strange. It's like, I believe in aliens, ghosts, and magic.
Oh, aliens is just a load of rubbish. Just a load of rubbish. But I have got a surprise for you all this evening. I'm a bit of a magician, and I've been learning some magic. And I'm going to change this whole set. Get ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Linc. On today's show, we talk about your childhood Halloween. Ha 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 ha. We also debate if Halloween is just for children or adults too. And I would also like to ask the panel if they have ever done a big prank or ever done a prank on anyone else. All that and a lot more on this week's Loose Links. Good evening, everyone. And on the panel today, we have the lovely Dee Kelly. Good evening. Suzanne Paul. And Joe Lloyd.
Oh, John, I think I've lost internet connection. Just, am I on? Am I on?
Hey. And keeping them all in line is me, Nicholas James. Did you all have a lovely week and enjoy Halloween?
Well, it was a bit bore off, really, for me. It was just a bit, it was a bit like, I don't know, it was just a bit bore off. I can't see any of my friends, and I'm really struggling with that, to be honest. I can't see any of my friends, and I don't know about anybody else. How's anybody else feeling about that?
Yeah.
I don't really like Halloween.
So let's get to our first topic then. Question number 1. Would you stay in a haunted house, and do you believe in them?
Yeah.
No.
This estate house is haunted.
I love ghosts. Absolutely love ghosts. Yeah.
And
love
aliens,
them.
Dee, and
aliens
and fairies.
Yeah.
Have you Sorry, Nick, I'm taking over here. Have you ever experienced any ghosts or anything like that?
Oh God, yeah, I've had ghosts jump into me and all sorts. Yeah, wherever I am, they follow me.
Well, I just think you need to stop crying your eyes out and just get on with it.
Excuse me, Joe Lloyd. Who's in charge of this? It's me, Nicholas James. So we'll just move on. We'll just move on there to shut Joe up. Tell me about your childhood Halloween. How about you, Suzanne?
Wow, I'm really, really old. So we didn't celebrate it back in the 50s or 60s. Maybe young Dee did in the 70s.
And you, Joe, how about you?
Well, I've always celebrated Halloween. I've gone to town with it. I have things outside the door and stuff like that. There's no cobwebs in my house, ladies. There's no cobwebs in my house. I'm a bit OCD, so I do like everything out and a nice time and all of that. But at the end of Halloween, I like to put it all away. I'm a bit OCD. I'm just a bit like that.
Sorry, you've got no cobwebs where, Joe?
Nicholas,
Sorry, my Beth just told my daughter, just come here. Filming.
I just stop you there. Joe, we just stop you there because we've got to listen to Dee now. Thank you.
Oh, my cigarette's just gone out. I just get a pipe. Thanks. Yeah, back in the 70s, 80s, yeah. We were really into sort of like, penny for the guy and all that. We would just get somebody in a barra, and push them along and, penny for the guy. Yeah.
That's really good. Do you celebrate it as much as Christmas, though?
No. Prefer Christmas. Yeah. And Easter.
Are you a Christmas person, Dee? Do you dress up and do you have the house decorated and all of that?
No, dressing up. Don't do dressing up. No, definitely don't do dressing up. No.
Right bundle of laughs you are, ain't you, Dee?
Yeah, don't do dressing up. If somebody invites me to a party, it's a no for me. I'm no. I'd rather just making me fag.
Why are you laughing so much, Nick?
No.
Oh, sorry, I'm just having a moment. How about you, Suzanne?
Oh, I love a good party. Yeah, I love a good party.
But don't they do it like fabulous at the halls? Is it not like amazing?
No, because all you can see is little green eyes and little clear eyes, and they're just going at you in the dark.
I bet you do, don't you, Joe? I bet you really celebrate it. Go all out, don't you?
Oh, my word, I have everybody round. I have the homeless, I have them round. I make sure they come round. I make sure my house is all tidy before that, though. I'm a bit, like, it's got to be right. If I'm having people round, it's got to be right, you see. And the thing is, I'm the only one that organises in my house, and that annoys me a little bit. I'm the only one that cooks the dinner and sets the table and washes up and all of that. And they just sit there, and it sort of gets on my nerves a bit. Do you know what I mean? It sort of gets to me quite a lot. I'm running around like a headless chicken. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's doing anything to help me.
Okay, we'll just stop you there, Joe. Are you a person who says it's just for the kids, or do you argue it for everyone?
Oh no, I have every Halloween decoration possible.
Joe, I was asking Suzanne.
Oh, sorry. Stop crying your eyes out, Nick. It's fine. Stop crying your eyes out.
I missed that one.
Are you a person who says it's just for the kids, or do you argue it's for everyone, Christmas?
At a push, it's for it. I'd like to say it's just for the kids, but I love getting my stockings out.
What's it like in the hall, though, Suzanne? What's it like? Is it a really busy period over Christmas?
Oh yes, the butler does be busy, and the cleaner and the cook, and just normal grand gestures the candlesticks need to be polished, the pictures come alive.
Where do you live, Suzanne?
I don't know. I can't remember the name of the place.
Was it not Token Hall?
I think it might be, Nick. It very well might be.
What about you, Dee? What do you think?
Is it just for the kids at Christmas?
Under 10s.
Yeah. I get involved a bit, but I like Easter. Yeah, I like to stock up on Easter eggs. Yeah, the more the better. Yeah, I buy lots just before Christmas.
Work on that 24-pack, D.
20,
yeah.
Look, the thing I've got to say, it's the grandest place I've ever seen you in.
Sorry.
Where are you?
What did you say, Joe?
It's the grandest place I've ever seen you in. Where's your Liverpool flag?
It's the Duchess of Solihull. Oh, God, she's in the grand place.
Well, actually, I think it's for the kids, actually. You know, I do think it's all about the kids. It's all about the kids. That's what I think. It's not all about everyone. It's all about the kids. And also being Christian, it's all about religion and getting to church and just loving everybody and blessing everybody. But that's my opinion. But yeah. We'll move on. Tell me the biggest trick you have ever made on anyone. Joe?
The biggest trick I've ever played on anyone. Well, being the glam woman that I am, I don't know if you guys know, I'm in my 40s now, but bloody hell, I'm just goddamn gorgeous. I'm just gorgeous, just beautiful.
You are.
No, no one needs to tell me that I'm beautiful because I just know I'm beautiful. I just know I am. Nobody needs to tell me that. And actually, I don't. Nobody's ever played a trick on me. I do get eyes look at me there as I walk down the street. And that's what I quite like.
Okay. What about you, Dee?
The biggest trick I've played on someone?
Yeah.
I took them to the road to hell. Yeah, that was the biggest trick. Yeah, scared them all to death. Yeah.
Right, bundle of laughs, you, ain't you, Dee?
That was a nice family night out or something.
Yeah.
Right, nice family thing.
Yeah. We were all scared to death. Yeah, best night out ever. Road to hell.
Tell us a bit more. Tell us a bit more about you, Dee. How's life been after Big Brother?
Oh, I've had a lot more Easter eggs. Yeah, bought a lot more Easter eggs.
You ever thought about growing your hair?
Have I thought about growing my hair?
That one-sided fringe looks a bit dated now, love.
It does, doesn't it? I did think about going a few tram lines and having them shaved here. But yeah.
Own it, Dee. Own it.
What about you, Suzanne? About the biggest trick you've ever made on anyone?
Wow, the biggest trick I've ever made. I'm not a tricky kind of person.
Oh.
I pull out a deck of cards every now and again, when the butler's on a night off and I have to, entertain the family myself when the hired help have gone off, or at the other side of the hall, I can't see them. I would start, just do a couple of card tricks maybe.
Oh, I love a good trick. I really love a good trick, I do. I love it. I love scaring people.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I love a good trick. I like scaring people. I do. I took Joe Lloyd on a ride once at the Christmas market. Scared her to death. It was amazing.
Oh my word! I've never been so scared in all my life, ladies. I nearly wet my knickers. I nearly punched Nick. I'm being deadly serious here. I actually nearly punched Nick. Nothing about that. Like, he kept trying to lift my hand up in the air, and I swear the man could hear me from the bottom of the ride. I was screaming at him. couldn't believe it. He told me, I'm scared of heights, right? So he takes me on this ride and I'm screaming made off. And then he decides to take me on the castle walk. So when we get to the castle walk, I get to the top and go, I can't even repeat what I said on camera, but I tell you something, it was not good. It was not good. I had to come down. Crying my eyes out and everything.
You're just a big wimp, aren't you, Joe Lloyd?
Yeah, that's really.
Well, unfortunately,
they're a wimp and gorgeous.
Yes, yeah, in your own words, darling, in your own words. Right, unfortunately, that is all we have got time for this week.
Oh.
I know. It's sad, but were you?
Oh, John, I think I'm losing connection. I think I'm still here. Yeah?
No, you need to calm down. Calm down. Yeah, you're still there. I can still see you.
Thanks, John.
I want to thank my panel, Dee Kelly.
Thank you.
Suzanne Paul. Joe Lloyd. Join us next week on Loose Links, where there's a lot more of a hot topic and debates to have. Get the kettle on. Good night and a spooky God bless.
I like this style.
It suits you.
Don't have to do it.
Adapt the Suzanne style.
Nicholas.